Welcome back to another detailed video. You know how we do it, guys. In this video, we're making this beautiful smoky or shred dress gown with a balloon sleeve. If you're interested in this, keep on watching. If this is your first time here, you are welcome. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and let me know what you think about this dress in the comment section. Just say something, and without wasting much of our time, let's just dive into this video. For this tutorial, you'll be needing an elastic thread. This is what is called an elastic thread. Okay, it stretches. And for the fabric, you'll be needing any fabric of your choice. I made use of an Ankara, and what I have here is 2.5 yards, but I'll advise that you use 3 yards upward. Okay, so this thread, I'm going to soak it in water for close to an hour. This is just a method I usually use. It makes the dress more stretchy and it makes your elastic thread not to be cutting. You don't have to do this. Okay, it's just a method I usually use. So I folded the fabric into two, as you can see, and I'm going to fold it again, that is into 4, because I'm cutting both the front and the back together. So fold your fabric into 4, and what I have here for my fabric is, you can see that it is folded into 4, right? Can you see? So what I have here for my fabric, I'm going to measure it, and what I have is 17 inches. Okay, so I'll just measure it for you to see. 17 inches. And what I did was I used the biggest part of my body measurement, which was my hip. You can see 17, right? So the biggest part of my body measurement was my hip. It is 36 divided by 4 is 9. So this is the 9, and then I added extra about 8 inches to that. Okay, if you have more fabric, you can add more figure to it. So after doing that, that was how I got what I folded. Okay, use the biggest part of your body measurement. So now I'm going to go off by 5 inches. It's an off shoulder, so I'm going to place this 5 inches on the starting line. Can you see? And then from that starting line, I am going to mark my bust points. First of all, I'll mark the chest line of 8 inches, bust point of 10 inches, then the waist of 16 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to mark my hip. Okay, I'll still place the tape like so and mark the hip line like this of 24 inches. So from the waistline, I basically came down by 8 inches for the hip line, as you can see. So still placing the tape on that 5 inches, go ahead and mark out your desired length. Okay, so what I have here is around 49, okay, including the sewing allowance, and that is what I just marked. So mark out your own desired length. So after doing that, after making all these marks, we'll go ahead and start drafting. So on this shoulder line, I'm going to mark half of the shoulder measurement, which is 7, and then I'm going to add extra 6 inches to that. Can you see? And then I'll come to the bust. I'm going to mark the bust circumference measurement, okay, which is 9. I'm going to mark it, and then I'm going to add extra 7 inches to that. Okay, so now I'm going to come to the waist, and I mark the waist, and I'm going to mark extra 8 inches to that. And I'm going to come to the hip. I'll mark the hip measurement, and I'm going to add the whole what I have there is what was around 9, and that was what I marked. Okay, so I'll measure what I have here on the hip, and I'm going to minus just 1 inch from that. Okay, so you can use 2 inches. You can actually minus up to 2 inches, but 1 is okay for me. And I'm going to connect all these lines together. Okay, so you can see how I am connecting it. So that is just how you should connect yours as well. So I'm going to connect from the waist now, from the hip, sorry, down to the length of this dress. Can you see? So after doing that, on this hip line, I'll just curve it a bit, just like this. So I went in by ½ inch, so I just curved it just so that it has that curvy effect around the waist, and then I just proceed to cut this out. Can you see? So I just cut it out all the way to the length of the gown. Okay, so after cutting it out, this is what I have. So you can see how big this is looking like, right? Don't worry, you see how small it will become. So what I'll do now is just to remove one piece, just to demonstrate what I'll be doing. Okay, so now what I'll do now is to fold the up parts like this. Okay, fold it into two and then further fold it and stitch on it. Okay, you can also stitch the bottom part at this point if you want to. After that, I'm going to take half-inch interval because I'll be running my elastic on this half inch mark. Okay, this is just to demonstrate what I'll be doing. Okay, I don't really need this half inch because I'll just stitch on it on my sewing machine, but I'm just trying to show you guys what I will be doing. So I just marked half inch and I'll just rule all of them like this. So this, on this line, I'll be stitching on the line. Okay, so you can use 1 inch interval depending on what you want, but this half inch is fine for me. Okay, so I hope you understand what I'll be doing. So now this is the thread. I just removed it from the water, as you can see, and I'm just going to roll it like this. Okay, do not stretch your thread. I'm not stretching this thread. Okay, I'll just roll it into this like so. You can see that the thread is still wet. After that, I'm going to cut it, place it into this, and then fix it inside the machine. So that is basically what I will do, and I am done folding the top parts just like I explained. Now I'm just going to stitch with the elastic. Now I'm stitching on the right part of this dress. Okay, this is the right side of the dress, and you can see how I am stitching it. Okay, so I'll just stitch it all the way down, and you can see that it is already folding, right? So that is how it should look like. So you will see the, can you see how you can see the half inch, right? So this is how I'm going to stitch it all the way down, and this is what I have, guys. This is, it is time consuming. Okay, this is what I have. You can see how stretchy it is and how beautiful this is looking like. So I'll keep that aside and then work on the sleeve. So half of the round armhole is 6, and that is what I marked here, and I added extra 7 inches to that. Can you see? So the width of this is 3.5. You can make yours wider if you want to. So I'll also use my elastic thread to stitch on this so that it will be shirred. Okay, so I'll do it for the both, and this is what I have after I was done. Can you see? Okay, so this is what it is looking like. So before you smoke it, please ensure that you fold one of the ends. Okay, just fold one of the ends before you use your elastic thread on it. I forgot to mention that. So now for the main sleeve, this is the main sleeve. Okay, what I have for the length is 19.5 inches, and then the width is 13.5. Okay, so you need something bigger than this. Okay, my fabric was not enough, honestly, so I'll fold this into two like this and stitch it all the way down. And then for this upper part, I'm going to run a loose stitch on it so that I'll be able to gather it. So I'm done. You can see I've stitched the down part, as I said, and for this other one, I am going to just gather it carefully. Okay, so if you watch this video this far, kindly give it a thumbs up. Okay, so this is what I have, and for one of the sleeves, what I'll do now is to place it right side facing right side and stitch it down. So that part that I did not hem, that's the part that I'm going to attach to this sleeve. Okay, because the other part that I hem will be at the top part, so it has to be neat. So I'm going to place it right side facing right side, and I'll be adjusting my gathers on the sleeve. Please do not stretch the smaller piece, this smaller one. Okay, that's this smaller one that I'm putting on top. Do not stretch it when you are stitching. Just stitch on it just the way it is. Okay, do not stretch it at all. So I'm going to just stitch it on the sleeve like so. So this is what I have after I was done. You can see that I did not stretch it. It is still maintaining the same shape it has now earlier. These are straps for the sleeve. Please ensure that yours is wider. Okay, what I have here is 1.5 inch, so, and the length is around 16. I have 4 of it, so I'll just stitch it and bring it out to the right side. So please ensure that yours is wide enough. You can see how slim mine is looking like, and that is not what we have on the thumbnail. Okay, so please make sure that yours is wide enough if you have more fabrics. So I'll fold the sleeve into two like this. Can you see? I'll fold it into two just to get the midpoint, and then I'm going to just use my scissors to create a hole here, just as you see me doing. Okay, so this is where we'll be inserting the straps. So this is the strap. I'll just use my pin to insert it through this hole that I created, just like this. Please make sure your strap is bigger in size if you want the exact thing that we have on the thumbnail. Okay, so when I get to this side, I'm going to bring it out. Can you see just a bit of it? And I'll just use my pin to secure it for now. Okay, so I'm going to attach the second one. So my fabric was not enough. Okay, that's why it is this way. So I'll insert the second one like so, and when I get to the other side, I'll bring it out like I did and pin it. Then I'll just go ahead and stitch it down. So you can see that the sleeve is ready, right? So this is the sleeve. Now repeat the same thing for this other sleeve. So after doing that, this is what I have for the two sleeves. As you can see, now we'll be attaching it to the dress. Okay, and this is how we will be attaching it to this dress. So you know we created an armhole here, right? So that's where we'll be attaching the sleeve. So I'm going to place it right side facing right side, just the way you see me doing. I'll place it like so, and I'm going to stitch on it all the way, just like this. Okay, I'll pin it here like this. So I'll just use my pins to hold it in place, and then I'm going to also stitch it and pin the downside here. Okay, so after doing that, so I'm going to bring the other piece and place it like so. Can you see what I'm doing? And I'm going to flip it like so, right side facing again, and then I'm going to stitch it. So I'm going to make sure that my sleeve stops at that my armhole. Okay, so that it will not be tight around the armhole area. I don't know if you understand. Then I'll pin it down like this, and so when I'm done, we'll be having something that looks like this. Can you see? So we'll be having something that looks exactly like this. So now repeat the same process for the other sleeve, just in case you don't understand. So what I did basically was to place it right side facing right side like this, and then I pinned it down. Okay, so this is the part that I'll be stitching down, the part that I pinned down. And then I'm going to place it on the other piece like this, right side facing as well, and I'm also going to pin it down. So after pinning it down, I'll stitch it down and we'll have something like this. Okay, when I am done. So after I am done stitching it down, I'm going to stitch the side like this all the way to the down part of this dress. Okay, I'll stitch it down using 1/2 inch, and if you haven't hemmed the bottom part, then you can hem it now. So this is what I have after I was done. It is looking so beautiful. Can you see? Guys, if you find this video helpful, kindly give it a thumbs up. Okay, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and turn on the notification bell to be the first to get notified whenever I upload a new tutorial. This dress is looking so beautiful and it came out really well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one.